What's going on, YouTube? Today I'm going to be giving you guys a video on the market watch for the month of November. November is probably one of the most interesting months in ESO because it is kind of ham sandwiched in the holiday period where a lot of people are playing ESO, but there's not a lot of active things to determine, where the market will go. In fact, currently, I don't believe we have another announced event for the entirety of the month of November. So November is going to see a bit of a weird U when it comes to sales, when it comes to things that you should buy, because the player base will be high, but you're not going to see that same amount of people coming in to farm specific things tied to an event, which is going to leave the market very open-ended. But don't worry, we will be getting into all of that here in this video so that you guys know what you guys need to be doing to maximizing your profits as well as your play time to make sure that you are getting the optimal amount of gold for yourself. So starting off where we always start off, we have the crowns market, which I suspect will remain around the same. Now, they are adding some really cool things into the market. Sometimes that can affect the market. There's been no announced sales on crowns, so I expect that on Xbox they're still going to remain around 100 to 150 to 1, and some ridiculous amount on PC, as they always have. Now, the golds mats market is still being bled dry by the bot farms on the Xbox servers. So gold mats still remain a completely non-profitable adventure in my opinion. The only way that you're really going to make any amounts and moniker of money by farming gold materials is going to be to farm for those jewelry materials. They're about the only things that are bot proof when it comes to the economy. Getting into what to buy and what to sell. So for those of you who watched my video yesterday, you know that I love the Halloween themed recipes. They're good throughout the entirety of the year. When you put into perspective that they can only be farmed for 2 weeks out of 50 or 56 weeks in a year, consider how the fact that these are the most used recipes in the game, and then on top of that throw on the fact that how rare they are. Definitely stock up on these bad boys. If you see these listed for a good deal, snipe them and hold on to them. That always begs the question, though, how long should I hold on to these event themes items? You may have some opal pages that you're like, Jake, I bought these opal pages at the end of the last event. How do I know when I should start selling them? And the answer is actually fairly straightforward. There is the trader reset / 30-day reset. That is generally at the end of an event. So today is the last day, or was the last day of the Halloween event, which means that from 30 days from now, people are going to have to determine whether or not they want to keep relisting their Bewitched Sugar Skulls, or if they're just going to hold on to them, or if they're going to sell, which means that the market will be in a reset stage. Now, there might be a bunch of individuals who in 30 days relist, hundreds of those, recipes, for example, or there might not be any, and that's the same for those opal pages. So for those of you who invested heavily in opal pages, you could start to see if your fruits have I'm drawing a blank on the expression. Labors of fruits, fruits of labor. So potato, as they say. But you'll be able to go in and be like, how many opal great swords are left of the Engine Guardian? That was one that was selling for millions before the event. During the event, it was selling for hundreds of thousands. What's it at now? As an example. And you'll be able to do that in 30 days, which will granted take you to December. But, potato again. You're going to be able to do that with your Halloween recipes as well. It's hard to gauge the actual market on a non-event item basis because we don't know of any double XP events. We don't know what the player base is going to look like specifically. Now, we do have a new update coming out, so that's very important, but that's going to be out on PC, but it's only going to come out halfway through November on console. So what does a new DLC usually bring to the economy? How does that usually change things? And the answer is actually relatively straightforward. It brings new players in, and it also puts players doing specific types of content. Now, what usually happens when a new DLC is released is a lot of the older Daily quests usually gain a little bit more value because people aren't going to farm them. Everyone wants to do the newest, shiniest thing. So everyone's going to be going to, the new zone. Everyone's going to be exploring and doing all the things and unlocking all the cool things there, for example. Nobody's going to be really going out and farming and filling the economy. So that begs a great question. What is a great thing for me to farm specific to this event that people might not be farming? And for me, that's as it always is. I think that the Frostbite set with its buff and everything that's going on with the Warden is going to be great to sell. People aren't going to want to go out and farm the Frostbite set in the Blackwood zone. So if you go out and farm it, you're going to be able to make, I would argue, a pretty penny, because if you take a couple, do a couple world bosses there, get a couple items, and then list them up, you're going to be able to make, pretty good profit on your items there. Specific to other things, we still have our general, I always encourage everyone to continue to play how they want, and there will be an influx of players. So I would say this is where you should look to generally sell sets. That's, what's a general set? So I consider general sets those sets that are recommended by a lot of people, that are generally easy to collect. You could consider things like your Mother's Sorrow. It's a very generic set. It sells very well. I don't necessarily think it's very good, but it's personally recommended by a lot of people. So if a set is still being recommended, that's usually a really good sign for its long-term success. You could also think of sets like Briarheart. Now, I think that this is going to not be more PvP focused. I think that the sets that are going to sell are going to be more PvE focused. So I would say those PvE overland sets, or those crafted sets such as like Law of Julianos or Order's Wrath, those are really going to maintain a lot of value. So if you're looking for some cheap, quick gold, you can always flip into that also. And there's tons of other crafted sets that you could look into. However, most of those are going to be more PvP based, which is really not going to be a primary focus for a lot of people during this month, as even the PvP players are going to probably be taking some time to go and complete the new zone, see everything that it has to offer, and experience all of the changes, which means that I think PvE will maintain and be the primary focus for this month, which also means that you guys could look at consumables. But which Sugar Skulls, if you have the recipe, if you've been stocking up on them, is a great one to sell. Ironically, as well as a lot of the other recipes from the Halloween event are also really good ones for you guys to invest in. So consider looking at those, because those are great options for you as well. Finally, I always think that this is, whenever you have people coming back to the game, I always think it's a good time to try to list some of those other general items. What are some other general items? And that's Prism Runes. People love to make hybrid builds. And the number one way to profit off of people's love of hybrid builds is to sell Prism Runes. It's a great way to convert your Telvar, but you may think to yourself, well, Jake, I have never farmed Telvar a day in my life. You may still have some, because it's always in the calendar for some unholy reason, and a lot of events you can still get Hajaku runes and not realize it. So always check to see if you've got Hajaku runes in your inventory, because they are worth a pretty penny. And always remember to check your Cyrodiil campaign, because this will be a month likely of you guys needing a lot of transmutes potentially with the reworks. There's 23 days left in the current campaign, which if you're looking for some easy transmute farming, all you need to get is about 20,000 AP, get to rewards tier 1 in your home campaign, and you guys are able to get 50 transmutes per character in just a matter of about 15 to 20 minutes per character, unless you're absolutely getting curb stomped. So just pick a good alliance. Insert whatever your favorite alliance is that makes you more likely to like the video, please. And these are things, too, that I'll continue to talk about when we do our Golden Vendor review videos, and we'll continue to kind of analyze it as we go. And if Firesong has specifics to it that I feel like once Firesong is released on console, then I'm like, holy hell, I didn't realize this, or this is a crazy new gold making method. And that usually happens. Like when they release Somerset, you were able to farm clams and get clam gall. You were able to do a bunch of different things there. They introduced scrying with Western Skyrim. That was a very interesting gold method. Dragon slaying was very interesting when they introduced that, the potions that came for that. There's a great chance that there's something hidden in the new High Isle 2.0 Firesong. Similar to how I think it was pretty profitable to farm Tales of Tribute if you just enjoyed, playing the what I would refer to as the Exodia version of Tales of Tribute, where you just try to win in 4 turns and don't really actually play the game traditionally. So maybe there's something there. If there is, I will definitely make a video on it because I'm looking to push out more gold method explain videos. The video that I will likely be making tomorrow is actually tied to the DLC dungeons because I'm going to rank the DLC dungeons in profitability. How much is the total writ book and the pages worth of that dungeon? Because I made a video on, hey, here's all the DLC dungeons. This is how you farm them, or this is how you get guaranteed motive drops from them. So it's one of those things, too, where it's like, well, if you get guaranteed motive drops, which one's the most profitable motive drop? So I'll be making that video tomorrow. Friday, we will have our Golden Vendor review video, and then either Saturday or Sunday, maybe both will stream. But that is going to wrap up the video. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, ideas for future videos, please let me know in the comments below. But put in the comments below, question of the day, what is your favorite gold making method? And remember, if you comment, you're entered into the giveaway, and it's November 2nd, which means that the winner is announced. If you would like to go see it, it'll be on the community tab, or you can watch tomorrow's video because I will put it into the video. I always like to, send you guys over to the community tab, because that's where the Discord and everything is, but it'll be in every video going forward. And if you'd like to enter into the drawing for December 1st, you just leave a comment now and then remain a subscriber. So that will be the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.